Let me fix this a little bit. Okay, so good morning. I came to, kind of give a life update. So I kind of been wasting my time for about a month and a half, maybe a little bit over a month and a half. And because of that, I think I want to give a life lesson to people. You know, if you're a if you're an empathic person and you care about people and you're willing to sacrifice and do things for people, it's okay to do nice things for people every once in a while. But I truly believe, and I know it's obvious, but if I need to hear it sometimes, then I know other people need to hear it. If people aren't treating you with respect and they're not giving to you, don't waste your time. Like, I have wasted so much time. I had plans for what I was going to do when I got back from a vacation that I took. And because somebody was down on their luck and they're like, oh, I'm about to be homeless, and they didn't have a job and car issues and stuff like that, I poured into this person to help them get back on track. But the more I got to know this person, the more I realized, oh, I was acquaintances with this person for about 3 years now. But we never got close because they're not really the nicest person. But I figured, maybe, there are times where I've been down on my luck. So maybe I can do that for somebody else. Big mistake. The closer I got to know this person, the more I got to know them, they they started to show more of who they were. And so it seemed like all that month and a half, like this person didn't have a job for months. And I'm the type of person that if you want to be successful, you go out and you find a way to be successful. You do what you can. Life is hard. And some people, they do the best they can and they still fail. And I don't really think that that's their problem. I think it's a society issue, and I don't like the way that everything is set up. But I but there are way too many people who are willing to take advantage of good people who've worked hard. And it's annoying because it's like, yeah, you have people who come from like hard life. I did too. But when I was young, I was like, what can I do to make sure I don't end up in this situation that I'm in, as an adult? What can I do to be have a better life, right? But a lot of these people, they'll do things that they're not supposed to be doing, and then they'll get mad as if their actions don't have consequences. And those are the people that you want to be careful of. If somebody, which I had to learn as I was talking more and more with this person, and I was like, wow, I'm wasting my time. But if a person chooses to do what is wrong, and sometimes you see that you feel like you get a little, like a centimeter of change, but then you figure out that they were just lying to you to keep you there longer because later on they say the same thing that negates that change, right? Okay, if somebody's like that, it's hard, but you gotta let them deal with their own stuff. We all have hard stuff we gotta go through. It's not your fault. I know some people, they'll threaten to leave this planet, if you know what I mean, in order to keep people in their life. Somebody is doing that. You call the popos, you call, call the popos and let them know this is where this person lives and they said this. If you really care about them, I mean, I'm sure you do care about them. Okay? But some people will use these things to manipulate you into staying into their life. And I've had multiple people do that. I had a guy that I was dating for 7 years that would threaten that every time I tried to break up with him. And it's a very awful way of manipulating people. And at this point in my situation, I'm thinking about all the time I wasted. I could have been studying, I could have been, getting my home cleaned up, I could have been exercising. I gained weight. I got down to 170, 174 about, I think. And then on my trip, I ate a lot, which that's gonna happen. And then now I'm back up to 182. And I know I've gained weight ever since dealing with this certain situation because it's stressful. And on top of it being stressful, trying to help someone, it's really hard when that person doesn't want anything better for themselves. And then they go on top of that to try to put you down because they're jealous of you. That is wild because I have always wanted, when I was in certain situations, to have people help me. And when people do help me, which is a rare situation, I'm very appreciative. I try to make sure I, make up for the fact of them helping me. So to me, the audacity of people to think that you owe them something when they've never done anything for you and you've never done anything to hurt them, but they will come up with reasons to kind of guilt trip you into staying around them is so annoying, and it'll waste your life, it'll waste your time. If you are dealing with people like that, and if you are alone, I think there's two parts. You got the ones who are dealing with stuff like that, but they have like normal relationships with family and friends and stuff like that. It's hard for both, but this one's the easier one. Just let go of that person, go spend time with your friends, family, keep yourself busy, yada, 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 right? Okay. And matter of fact, for both sides of this, make sure, I think the best thing you can do in toxic situations is to let people know in public places or when you're like over the phone far away from them that you don't want to like talk to them anymore. You might make mistakes, you might go back. I have several times, like because you care about the people, but don't beat yourself up. It happens to all those who care, you know? Uh but on the other hand, if you're lonely, right? Like you don't have great relationships because we do have outliers, we do have people who have unique circumstances, then I would say I know it's hard for you. Go walking. Learn self worth. Learn that you are just as important as somebody else. And maybe because I have to learn this stuff too, don't focus so much on helping other people. Focus more on helping yourself. I've been watching a lot of videos and learning things, and I think that what I'm getting from all these educational videos is that we empathetic people love based off of what they weren't given as children, right? Some of them, they're empathetic because maybe their parents was always loving and they just want to be loving to the world. But I think a lot of us are built the same way that toxic people are built. So we give the love that we wish that we could get. And a lot of times that just doesn't happen because we give it to the wrong people. And there's not really a lot of good people, unfortunately. There's a lot of people are selfish. So I think it's important to, you can help people from time to time, but have boundaries. And I also think that have time limits for how long you're going to help someone, watch everything, and make a decision to cut them off when they're being detrimental to your time and your life and your emotions. If they're putting you down, it's time for them to go. But I think it's most important for you to take the time to stop, because when you start to pour into other people who are not pouring into you, you start to lose yourself. So start taking care of yourself. Okay? This whole video is a little bit of a rant, but I think the big thing I wanted to say here is don't waste your time with people who don't care about you if you're empathetic. Life is way too short. People will try to make it seem like they just don't have anybody and that's why they fail. But if you are there and you are trying to help this person and they are just throwing you away, then what's the point? Because, like I said, there are plenty of people who would appreciate having like the help that you give. You would have appreciated it. Actually, there are plenty of people who are willing to take those things. But how about you only give to those people who truly appreciate what you're giving because you don't want to be dried out from all your energy being sucked out of you. Okay? All right, I'm going to go try to listen to my own words. I'm going to go walking. I'm going to get my life together. I'm going to try to lose weight again. That's so hard because I like food. But I'm going to do what I can and go on from there. Y'all have a great day. I'll try to post videos about like the trip I just took to Ecuador and yeah.